Hey folks, how you doing? It's early March and I want to go ahead and plant some paperwhites today that I purchased back in like early November or early December. It's a little bit late for them, to be honest. Just in case you didn't know, a paperwhite is a bulb that is often grown, or the more appropriate term is forced, in the winter to bloom, you know, when it's out of season. People do the same thing with tulips, daffodils, and they'll do it with hyacinths. And they'll grow to be anywhere from 18 inches to 2 feet tall. For me, the main thing about their paperwhites is the scent is just really, really strong. You just can't get away from the scent in the house. So it really brightens up those dreary winter days. Initially, I saw these little forcing kits, picked them up. They had everything you need. I thought it'd be fun to do. Then I went on Amazon and I picked up some of these, which are 17 plus centimeters. They're really large bulbs. I've had these in my basement. I live in an old farmhouse where we actually do have a small root cellar. So these have been in the dark and probably closer to 50-degree temperatures, something between 50 and 60. All my life, I've always seen paperwhite bulbs forced in a very shallow, almost like a cereal bowl container, a clear cereal bowl type container. They usually get so ridiculously tall that, you know, they end up flopping over, or you have to put some rubber bands or string around them. I went down to Michael's and I picked up this cylinder vase, and then I thought this one was really cool. I actually like this better because you can see the top kind of chokes everything down, so the bulbs are going to have even less chance to flop all over. The way paperwhite bulbs are classified is by the size of the bulb, and the larger the bulb, the more flowers you're going to get, and the more vigorous the bulb is usually going to be. So I just want to show you the difference between this kit here, which was, you know, the store-bought kit, and this basically came with these little baby bulbs here. And then the ones I got on Amazon, so this is the Amazon ones on the right, which was a 17 centimeter diameter bulb, and then these are the ones that came in the kit. Even though all these bulbs, you know, have started to grow already, they're gonna be perfectly fine. The most amazing thing about paperwhites is how easy they are to force. So I went to a local garden center and I picked up some of this gravel here. All you need to do is just pop these guys in, whether it's in gravel or you can put them in dirt too, and give them some water and they're gonna grow. Basically, I just wanna put enough gravel to keep the bulbs off the bottom of the container and give enough space there to have a reservoir for the roots to go into to get water. And then we're just gonna see how many of these paperwhites we can jam in here, because it is the end of the season. So I just kind of want to get some use out of them before they go bad. Not sure I'm going to have room in the middle. I've got 5 around the outside and 1 in the middle, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this gravel on top as well, just to kind of hold them in place. And that is literally all we need to do to plant these bulbs. And to be honest, I put a little bit too much gravel in here. You really only need to cover like the bottom half of the bulb. Just get the water to the bottom of the bulb where the roots are. You don't want to fill this thing up like super high, because you're gonna rot the bulbs out. Just keep that water just touching the bottom of the bulb there. Initially, my plan was to just do like 1 vase every week or 2 through the winter and stagger them, but it is getting later in the season, so I'm just gonna go ahead and plant them all. I don't know if this can convey how big a difference the little prepackaged kit was as opposed to the 17 centimeter diameter ones, but there's a big difference. When these initially arrived from Amazon, they were very hard. Like if you squeezed them, they were firm. And they're kind of mushy now. They're not mushy, they're soft. So when you're buying your bulbs, you really want to look for the ones that are nice and firm. At this time of year, they're all going to start to be soft because they've been sitting for so long. I did have 3 bulbs that there's no green coming out the top. So we're not even going to waste our time planting them. These are soft, and they probably are a little bit mushy in there as well. Once these bulbs start to grow, the roots are going to dig down into that gravel and really hold them firmly. So we're going to be fine there. All right, so I got some water, and all we're going to do is just pour some water in here and just bring it to the bottom of the bulb. That's all you need. Probably around here. And then over here, maybe here-ish. You really want to be careful to not overfill them when they're young because they still need to get their roots established. They need oxygen. The one thing about growing paperwhites is you really want to put them where they get the maximum amount of light possible. They already want to grow really tall and lanky, and the more light you give them, the better the chance you'll keep them down low. Hey folks, I just wanted to give you a quick update on the paperwhites, and it is amazing how quickly these things are growing. If you take a look here, you can see the flower buds are actually already on the bulbs. Now they had a long time, they've been growing in my basement in the dark, so these are much farther ahead than if I had planted them back before the holidays, but it's just blowing me away how quickly they're growing. Well, there you go, folks. It took us 12 days to get from little bulbs with no roots to these beautiful paperwhites, which smell absolutely gorgeous. I really like the way this vase here came out. I'm gonna have to go to Michael's and see if I can find some more because I really like that. The secret to paperwhites is to put them in the sunniest window you've got. You really want to just keep them in full sun all day, and that's going to do the best to keep them short. However, if you're still having trouble with your paperwhites getting really tall, I've seen a few articles out there about using alcohol, either like a hard liquor or an isopropyl alcohol. And what you do is you mix just a little bit in the water when you're watering them, and that'll keep them a little bit shorter. I really like the way the top of this kind of scrunches in a bit, so it doesn't really give them a chance to spread out. I mean, this to me has that kind of homemade look, like you're using something from around the kitchen. It's got this writing on it, but it also pushes them in enough that you don't have to worry about them falling over, and you also don't have to worry about adding the alcohol. I like these cylinder vases. They're pretty cool. This one is about 10 inches tall, and honestly, if I was going to do a cylinder vase, I would probably do like a 14 or even like a 16-inch cylinder vase. If you plant some paperwhites every 2 weeks, you're going to have new flowers coming on a regular basis, and there'll be enough to kind of brighten up your house and give you that beautiful paperwhite smell. All right, folks, well, we had a little bit of a warm spell here, and it is a beautiful March day, so I'm gonna head outside and take advantage of it. If you've never grown paperwhites, please give them a try because they're a really easy plant to grow. It's a lot of fun to grow, and it just gives you something to look at in the middle of the winter when there's like nothing else going on around. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and put a link in the description to a paper that Cornell University put out about putting alcohol in your paperwhites. And then there's a few videos I enjoyed watching. If you can just do me a favor and go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let me know if you've grown paperwhites before and how your paperwhites did down there in the comments. And again, thanks a lot for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.